Hey there everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of 3B TV. I'm Brian. This is 3B Farm and Homestead here in beautiful upstate New York. And today, well, today is a bittersweet day. Today, we're taking some pigs to be processed. Going to be loading them up here in a few minutes. Hopefully going to catch it on camera. We'll see how we do. You can kind of hear them in the background a little bit. Because they're hungry. I've kept them a little hungry to hopefully make them easier to load, and so we'll see what we get. But this is a bittersweet day. We've been raising them for meat. They're not pets. We realize what that means, but I think any farmer who doesn't feel a twinge, a little bit of sorrow when it's time for them to be processed, whether they're processing them themselves like we hope to do in the future, or if they're taking them to be processed, there's just that sense of sorrow because you realize what that means. And so we've tried to give them as best of a life as we can to make sure that they are cared for well, that they have been fed well, watered, sheltered, but always the end goal is that this is meat. And so we're gonna load them up and take them on up the road, so let's see what happens. So I'll leave that on for a little bit. So we're not going far. This place, very blessed. It's only about a quarter of a mile, I would say, away from us. Hopefully we can get there. Of course, this time of the year, everything is all frozen up on the trailer, so it makes it a bit of a challenge. But so we're actually going. Don't tell anybody this is between you and me, but actually driving with no trailer lights. Shh. So just gonna pull up to the end of the drive here. And then when I do, I'll just stop and I'll check just to make sure everybody's riding okay, to make sure that we're not leaving pigs from here to there. Yeah, that was a bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. All right, let's do a little pig check here. All right, everybody's riding okay. Looks like I'll put some. Looks like we've got them all comfortable in the hay. Put in plenty of hay to kind of cushion the ride, and so for me, this is a bittersweet thing. For me, this is a bittersweet thing. We've raised these animals for food, but there's I guess I should put my seatbelt on. All right, we'll do it again. For me, this is a bittersweet thing. We've raised these animals for food, but they're, you know, I understand what that's all about, and so, you know, it's one of those things that there's a sense of sadness. Because especially with these animals, you keep them a little bit longer, they just have great personalities, and you know, so you start to get a little attached to them. At least I do, and I try to remind myself these are food. They're not pets. Tried to give them as good of a life as we could. Fed them, watered them, made sure they had shelter. They weren't confined. I mean, they were, but they had a lot of room, so. And I really grew attached to these guys, these little boarlets. Great personalities, a lot of fun. Tarragon was a good pig. And so, you know, it sucks, but, you know, this is food. So I want to make sure I don't miss my road here. It's right here somewhere. I think it's right here. And that it is. So hopefully we'll make it up this hill okay. This is up on top of a hill. I'm glad that I don't have to plow this driveway. Woohoo! Hopefully the pigs are riding okay back there and they're not sliding totally out. Ooh, man, never been up here. So what are your thoughts, Mommy? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it was very interesting getting them on the trailer. Yeah, good thing they're pretty tame pigs, and good thing they were hungry, or they would have been like over the neighbor's yard. But
yeah, I don't know if you could see it on the video. When I play it back, we'll see what we can see. But they definitely, it was more of a struggle to get them up onto the trailer than I had anticipated. So they got out, but with a little bit of bread, and we were able to call them right back. So here we are. Let me go see if I can find somebody around, and we'll get these pigs unloaded. All right, so we're back from taking the pigs over to the processor, and honestly, it actually bothered me a lot more than I thought it would. Leaving them there. You know, I've raised these for this purpose, but again, it's still something that you know, I can't say I relish the thought of it. I'm looking forward to the bacon. I'm looking forward to the pork chops. I'm looking forward to the sausage. I'm looking forward to all of that and enjoying that harvest. But you know, the fact that I've raised these animals from a young age, at least the two boarlets, Tarragon not so much, but even still, they've been on the farm for, Tarragon's been here 7 months. The boarlets have been here probably 5. And so, you know, it's what I've raised them for. I feel like I've done as good of a job as I could. You know, obviously I'm still learning. This is my first go at this. They weren't too happy with the size of the boarlets, to be honest, and neither am I. I'm taking them early simply because their testicles hadn't dropped. I couldn't castrate them. I wanted to borrow them and raise them out, but I'm hoping that maybe at taking them early like this, that they're not going to taint. It's not going to have tainted, so we'll see what we get. I'm happy with Tarragon size. It's the size that I'm wanting to go for, so you know, that piece of it I'm happy with. You know, I think part of the situation here doing American Guinea Hogs, it's a smaller breed, it's not a commercial breed. I have to educate, not only do I have to educate my customers, but I have to educate my processor as well, because they look at it from the standpoint of the size of the animal, the amount of meat that you get out of it, and why not raise a bigger hog, a bigger style hog. And so I have to educate them as to the reasons why I've chosen to raise the American Guinea Hog, and that I'm not necessarily looking for the biggest pig, but I'm looking for a quality of meat that perhaps is a little different than what they're accustomed to. And so there's a bit of education that I have to do with them. I have a prior relationship with this processor, not even in the realm of animals, but they do a few different things, and so I've had them do some work for me before, and so that in part is why I've chosen to go to them first, and we'll see how things work out with them. But overall, the animals didn't load as well as I would have liked. I think I need to think through a little better how to load them, because with this I'm using a small trailer. It's a little too high for them to get up in, but if I dump it, then the angle is such that they can't get into it. So I've got to really think through this, and maybe either look for a livestock trailer or revamp my system. But overall, successful day. It's a sad day. In part, it's bittersweet. Excited about the bacon, the sausage, the hams, all of those good things, but you know, gonna miss those pigs, and so a bittersweet day. But when I'm eating that bacon, it'll be all worth it, hopefully. So till next time, thanks for tuning in. This is Brian, 3B Farm. Thanks for checking out 3B TV. Like and subscribe, share it with your friends if it's something that you have enjoyed. And until next time, this is my farmstead story, and I'm sticking to it. Take care, everybody.